Morning. Good morning. What was that? Oh, my bad. Good morning. 15 minutes or so, a little less, the press conference for Anthony Joshua, Oleksandr Usyk, WBA Super, IBF, WBO, and former cruiserweight undisputed champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk, is going to be facing off in a press conference, the first press conference for their August the 20th fight, taking place in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I remember that area because that's where the finals of the World Boxing Super Series 168-pound tournament season 1 ended with Chris Eubank Jr. and George Groves. It is reported to be a $80 million purse split that is not including pay-per-view buys, by the way, even though Anthony Joshua has signed a rumored $122 million deal, broadcasting deal with the DAZN. It is guaranteed it's going to be the DAZN pay-per-view over in the UK. Will they do it the DAZN pay-per-view over here in the States? They better not. They better not. It ain't going to work. So their press conference is going to be starting soon. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. I am TstreeT Controversy with Fight View 360. And here it is. It's official. Anthony Joshua, former 2-time champion, going for being a 3-time champion. Remember, he had lost to Andy Ruiz back in Madison Square Garden. A fight that was originally supposed to be Big Baby Miller back in June of 2019. Big Baby Miller, by the way, returns this Friday. I believe it's Thursday or Friday, the 23rd. I believe it's Thursday. I'm going to be covering that fight. I'm going to find it somewhere. There's no stream information, but I'm going to try to find it, and I'm going to cover it for you, the people. So, yes, Gerald Big Baby Miller, who was suspended in 2019 for failing a drug test, leading up to the Anthony Joshua fight. Basically, he tried to juice to fight Anthony Joshua. Then he was supposed to come back against Jerry Forrest in 2020 on a top rank card, got suspended. Now, 2 years later, he's fighting on a drug awareness card in Argentina by the WBA, of course. They make me sick. So remember, Anthony Joshua came back that December, avenged this loss against Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz showed up, almost 20 pounds heavier than he did in the first fight. He let the money and the fame go to his head. He didn't do what he was supposed to do in the rematch. Anthony Joshua cut 10 pounds, came back and outboxed him. He then went on to fight Kubrat Pulev in IBF mandatory. Went on to fight Oleksandr Usyk. Now, in my opinion, I knew he was going to lose to Usyk. That was just my opinion. I've seen every single fight available on the internet of Oleksandr Usyk. I covered his rise to cruiserweight domination and undisputed, and covering the whole entire World Boxing Super Series. I knew that this dude had the tools and the boxing IQ to beat Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua's good. He is. But technically, he's not better than Oleksandr Usyk. And my concern is, what can he do in a rematch against Oleksandr Usyk? It is not known. So they're going to be fighting on August the 20th in Jeddah. It's reported that both fighters are going to be doing a split of $80 million or so. Let's go look at the article here. This is the one that's going around on the internet. Is this the one from yesterday? Yes, it is. 2-time heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua set for a bumper payday, Saudi Arabia. Okay. Joshua reportedly banked close to $100 million after snubbing UK boxing fans to fight Oleksandr Usyk in Saudi Arabia. So basically, they're following the money. And, a lot of UK fans are pretty upset that the fight's not taking place in the UK. But listen, your job, as a fighter is to make money, and the promoter's job is to get the fighters the money. Turning his back on Sky Sports, he already penned an eye-watering $100 million pound deal with the DAZN. What does that equal to? About 122 million or so? Sheesh. Now, I'm guessing all that the DAZN money is going to come from the UK and global territories, because let's face it, the DAZN ain't doing no numbers over here, and rumors are, depending on who you believe, that the DAZN doesn't even have 100,000 subscribers over here in the States. According to the Daily Mail, the site fee alone is to be around 92 million pounds. Oh, shit. The figure shrieks for, okay, 92 million pounds. So what is that? Alexa, what's 92 British pounds in dollars? Let's see what Alexa has to say. What is that, 112 million, something like that? Is that right? Can somebody do that math for me? Despite fan outrage at the $24.95 cost to stream the September bout, at 1.2 million fans, around 1.2 million fans went ahead and purchased the fight. A repeat would add another 30 million pounds to the prize money pot. Due to a 50-50 split, the Brit clash minimum of $65 million payday. Sheesh, my math is all all fucked up. Hold on, let me try to do this math here real quick. So you're gonna have 65 million pounds in dollars. 65 million. There we go. I'm sorry, my math. Listen, my math is all fucked up. But how you guys doing? I missed you guys. I haven't done a stream. I mean, $80 million. Oh, shit. So wait a minute. Yeah, they're splitting $80 million. Okay. And from my understanding, that is the site fee, that $80 million. Sheesh. You know, but Anthony Joshua did put on a hell of a show against Andy Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. Remember around the time people didn't think that the fight was going to happen, and how Saudi Arabia was going to build a arena out of the sand in the desert? They really did that shit, and it was nice. Remember Anthony Joshua's ring entrance? By the way, the press conference is going to be starting in about 7 minutes or so. We're going to be heading over live to watch it. Remember when people were talking all this shit? You know how YouTubers can get, you know, like, you know, it ain't gonna happen in Saudi Arabia, you know, the arena here. Let me pull up that arena. You know, how they gonna put an arena in the deserts? Well, the Saudis showed up because it was a lot of bitterness towards the Arabs, because we were always hearing about Amir Khan and the Khan army, and oh, well, you know, the Arabs, you know, the Iron Sheiks, they'll put together, you know, $1 billion for Amir Khan just to fight on a sea vessel in front of 3 Iron Sheiks. Like, remember all that shit? You know, but they really put it together. And when you go back and look at that undercard, it was a phenomenal undercard. Like, when you go look at it, like in hindsight, you know, I mean, yeah, you can say the fighters were fighting B-sides, but listen, you had Lawrence O'Colly on the undercard for the first fight, Connor Smith on the undercard, you know, like Campbell Hatton, solid undercard. And even when Anthony Joshua fought Andy Ruiz, you know, for the second fight, look who they had on this undercard. Felix Hergovitz, Alexander Povetkin, Dylan White, Diego Pacheco, Hopi Price. Solid undercard. Let me go open up the press conference here. And I'm going to go ahead and be honest with you. I got Anthony Joshua losing again. He's with Robert Garcia now. I'm guessing Robert Garcia, you know, he's pretty much known for kind of pressure fighters, I guess. You know, Mikey Garcia, I can't, you know, depends on where you list him, or if you list him as a pressure fighter or not. You know, and a lot of what was going on with the first fight was Anthony Joshua was trying to outbox Oleksandr Usyk. Just like in the beginning rounds, Deontay Wilder was trying to outbox Tyson Fury. Even in the first fight, Deontay Wilder was doing a pretty good job, you know, boxing Tyson Fury, the boxer. But then once Fury got dropped, he started putting it on his ass. He felt this power and was like, oh yeah, you ain't a better boxer than me, and I can eat your power. So a lot of people may wonder or question, okay, well, what happens if Anthony Joshua tries to be more aggressive? Will that open him up for more counters? You know? But one thing for sure is he's got to use his size. And depending, you know, we've seen some photos of Oleksandr Usyk as of late with his looks like he had dropped down some weight. Word was that he dropped down to about 200 or so pounds, you know, when he was dealing with getting his family safe over in the Russia-Ukraine war. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not talking about no war. You know, but it seems, you know, that he's putting on some weight. I think that, what did he weigh in for the first fight? Let's see here. He weighed in at 221 for the first fight. That's the largest he weighed in his career. Remember, this is a cruiserweight. I think that he should stay that no more than 225 for the rematch, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion. But yeah, Anthony Joshua couldn't stop the left hand, and that jab hand was always moving, keeping Anthony Joshua off, you know, like off balance. And what we saw is, we've been saying it for years, Anthony Joshua's head movement has been questionable, you know, to say the least. But that doesn't mean he's not good. You know, and one thing I love about AJ is he runs them back. You know, even though they were saying this fight was going to happen in March. Remember at the post-fight press conference, they was like, you know, we're going to do it for March. I was like, that shit ain't happening in no March. They're going to give Anthony Joshua all the time that he needs, and also to maximize the profits. So here we are. It's going to be taking place on August the 20th. With a site fee of a 50-50 split of $80 million. So $40 million a piece just for the site fee. Just for the site fee, $40 million a piece. So whatever the pay-per-view buys they get, you know, they're going to walk away with at least $50 million a piece. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, would you ever think that, you know, Oleksandr Usyk would be making this type of money? Remember how, you know, guys like Bob Arum just recently said Dmitry Bivol is not known. You know, and they don't want to go over to the dead zone. And you got these guys making this type of money, you know? But hold on, let me pull up that Usyk Joshua post-fight press conference. Joshua. By the way, take your time out. Like the video. My podcast is launching in a couple of weeks. I'm going to release with 4 shows on the podcast. It's going to be an in-depth look at Usyk versus Joshua 2. That's going to be about 30 minutes to 45 minutes long. It's going to be a 45-minute podcast on why I'm starting a podcast, you know, and my goals and plans on, and pretty much why, you know, I'm changing the channel from just TstreeT controversy and covering boxing to this TstreeT controversy where we cover everything. So if you haven't noticed, I've been putting out some content over the last couple of weeks or so that's been straying away from, you know, just covering boxing. Now, I have covered other things on the channel in the past outside of boxing. But in this case, you know, YouTube, like, I can't be a clickbait dude. I'm sorry. And I can't do Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford videos every day. I understand they bring you in subs and money. I get it. And TstreeT loves money. TstreeT needs money. We all need money. I get it. But don't nobody know shit. All this, oh, Terrence Crawford offered this person this, and Spence offered that. Terrence Crawford sent this person this message. Spence sent him this and gave him. None of that shit be true. And I'd be shocked that people really be watching and eating that shit up. So I just can't do it. You know, you're not going to see me pumping out the same videos, you know, on, oh, a Canelo video ever. Like, no. And that's the formula. If you cover Canelo, you know, versus anybody and start mixing, matching him with anybody, you'd start doing Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence videos and then sprinkling a little bit of, you know, Charlo want to fight him at 154. Like, I just can't do it. Sorry, I can't do it. It's just, you know, it's going to take the fun out of it for me. And I understand, you know, people use YouTube to generate like revenue and make money and to take care of their families and everything. YouTube is somewhat passive income for me, you know, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So if I do a Terrence Crawford, you know, Errol Spence video, you know, it's like, yo, I'm doing it, you know, because it's like something relevant, you know, happens or is happening, you know. So anyway, moving on. The press conference is going to be starting early. There's so far 1,900 people in the chat. But I'm interested, you know, what demeanor Anthony Joshua is going to have. Now, we know Usyk is probably going to be all jokey, you know, telling, you know, if he changed his clothes since he first, because they've been doing, here, I mean, they've been over there doing like media interviews and whatnot. Let me see here. Where are we at? Yeah, this one right here. Wait, did they take it down? But yeah, bro, I'm not doing all that shit. Like, no. Right. I'm doing the same motherfucking videos every day. You know, people don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like, no way. No way. Like, them motherfuckers just be blatantly lying. It's like, bro, where did you get this shit from? Oh, so you just made it up, huh? That's what's up. That's what's up. You just gonna make it up, huh, as you go along. Huh, mate? But yeah, let's go listen to Anthony Joshua.
You know, we'll sit down with Alex Krasuk and he just...
How dare you!
Thanks for the super chat, Stephen Mayton. Usyk splitting that wig again.
Performance as a heavyweight, like that was the best performance of his career, basically. You know, and he's had some unbelievable wins on away soil, but I think he boxed the perfect fight. So I'd like to be more of a half glass full guy and say, can he do it again? Maybe he can raise his game, but maybe he can't box to that level again. Maybe he had the perfect camp. Maybe next time he won't have the perfect camp. Maybe he's now achieved everything he's ever wanted to achieve and might go and put on some weight like Andy Ruiz. I don't know. Like anything could happen. But AJ will, I promise you, he will be much, much better than that in the rematch. He you know, it's not that he wasn't at the races. He boxed okay, but not to the level he can box.
So listen to this. On the poll that's above the chat that I put up there, you have fans saying that I put who wins Usyk Joshua 2, Usyk decision 28%, Usyk KO 34%, AJ decision 9%, AJ KO 29%. Wow. So do people really think that Usyk can win by KO? You think he can step on the gas a little bit and actually go for the stoppage? Because that's how Usyk's always been for the most part. You know, like he wears you down and then he knocks you out. You know, but me personally, I think that, you know, he should just go out there and try to box his ears off again. You know, secure the bag.
I don't know. February.
Oh, here he was.
I mean, he has to be on everyone's top pound for pound. I mean, yeah, I mean, when you go through the resume of beating Huck in Germany, Gassiev in Russia, Briedis in Latvia, Bellew in Manchester, Cesar in the UK, Joshua, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know, and we, like I said, maybe we should have swerved him and just put the belt in the bin. But that's not what AJ's about. You know, so and
this is from the post-fight press conference from the first fight. But yeah, you know, AJ fought him, you know, and as you can see, you know, Eddie Hearn, you know, was like, listen, you know, maybe we should have, maybe in the rematch, you know, we can, you know, maybe he may have a bad camp, maybe he may put on some weight like Luis Ortiz. I mean, Andy Ruiz. By the way, we got to talk about that fight a little bit later on too. What is it supposed to be? September the 4th? Is that a Sunday? We're going to be seeing Andy Ruiz taking on Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. PBC on Fox pay-per-view, by the way. I mean, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to cover it. I think it's going to be a fun fight. My only issue is that it's going to be on pay-per-view at the beginning of the year when kids are going back to school, when gas is $5, $6, $7. It'll be likely, you know, a $6 average here in the States around that time. And then you're going to have Canelo versus Golovkin 2 weeks later. That's my only issue with Luis Ortiz versus Andy Ruiz. Like, it's going to be on pay-per-view. But I understand why it's on pay-per-view, but that ain't our fault. That ain't the people's fault that these fighters, and I'm going to say, you know, they don't generate the money that they're guaranteed, you know? Yeah, this fight, Usyk Joshua 2 is going to be on August the 20th in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I forgot the name of the arena that they're using, but it's going to be a reported, rumored $80 million site fee, 50-50 split, both get $40 million. Anthony Joshua has signed something along a $112 million deal with the DAZN. It's $112 million or $122 reported with the DAZN, no longer with Sky Sports. So for that fight alone, Anthony Joshua is probably going to make around, you know, $60 to $80 million. You know, crazy. You know, and Usyk, he's like, you know, like once I said earlier, would you think that a guy like Oleksandr Usyk, you know, a fighter that people were staying away from networks because it was like, we don't know if he's going to be able to generate money. Here he is. He's about to make $60 million plus, bros. What?
And I come back to giving him credit. I hope people do. Yeah, you know, I see people criticise him. Oh, you know, he didn't box well. Oh, he's not that good. But like, he's consistently proved that he's willing to take all.
Here, I'll be right back. The press conference, as you can see, it's right here. I'm gonna leave it up on the screen. It's going to be starting soon. But this is the post-fight press conference from the first fight for who didn't see it, so we can go back down memory lane. So give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get some H2O and, you know, use my little PAX 3 vape right here. Get a little buzz going, and we're going to talk some boxing. So this is the press conference up here, right here. So I'm going to leave it up here. So as soon as they start, we're going to head over. So thanks for hanging out. If you guys can drop a like, it really does help. And unfortunately, guys, I didn't want to do it. But TstreeT has started a Cash App. Because to do what I want to do, especially since we sent 2 people to my colleague Donnell, he was at Bertabiev versus Joe Smith. You know, so I still got to do a recap and use that content. And upload some more content. And then we sent Big J to Haney Camboso, Camboso's Haney, you know, and he got the full experience. Like, we were ringside, like all that type of shit. We're very grateful. But this shit costs money, let me tell you. And I've been pumping so much money. But anyway, let me go get what I got to get because the press conference is going to start soon. So this is the press conference right here. As soon as it starts, we're going to start. But in the meantime, for those who want to catch up and listen to AJ, after the first fight, here he is. Take your time out, please. Once again, drop a like if you can. That really helps us out. Also, vote in the poll at the top of the chat on who would win Usyk Joshua 2. Usyk by decision is 25%. Usyk by KO 32%. AJ by decision is 11%, and AJ by KO is 32%. Let's see. When is AJ coming out? He's coming out now. All right, here we go. I'll be back.
And I think he should be applauded for fighting Oleksandr Usyk twice.
Eddie, I spoke to Lawrence Okoli earlier, and he said that he wanted to see in the rematch probably less boxing from AJ, more the fighter. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think he needs to make changes, but I'm sure he'll do that with the team. And here he is now, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're well. All good?
Well, good, guys. Questions for AJ? Got Rob up here, myself and Freddie. We'll carry on.
Anthony, I just get a reaction from the fight itself to start off with.
Well done to the winner. And we'll be back again. Get back into training. Great 12 rounds. Great experience as well in the ring. And we progress from this point on once again. So we'll be doing it all again soon.
How's your eye?
Much better now. It's weird. It was bad at one stage. It was bad, then it's getting a lot better now. So it's all good. What went wrong? Just taking a loss, but we'll get it right. Probably in the 9th. From the 9th, I couldn't see in the 9th round. Couldn't see anything really. Like, my eye was shut. But it was a good experience because, like, in adversity, you just got to learn to control yourself, stay on top of things. So when I couldn't see anything, it's the first time it's happened in a fight. So I was thinking, all right, cool, this is the first time my eyes closed up in a fight. I can't see nothing. Like, I'm looking at a one eye kind of thing. And yeah, but it got better as the rounds went on. Good pace, and we'll be back.
Do you want the rematch next?
100%, 110%. I'm ready to get back to training. Because of the 12 rounds, my lungs and everything, it was a good 12 rounder, so I'll be in a good place when I get back into training to pick up where we left off.
Well done on being a great champion.
Huh?
Well done on being a great champion.
Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Anthony, in terms of your eye, if it hadn't swollen up and you'd been able to see, what was your strategy in those last few rounds?
Same. Continue the process. Continue the process. But
This is the live press conference, guys. It's live now. Thanks for the super chat, Steven. I'm going to read it when I get a break.
Your Royal Highnesses, honored guests, members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yasser Al-Sagaf, and I'm happy to be here in this historic day. Broadcasting live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, a country passionate for sport and a host of some of the world's biggest events. Over 2.5 years since the Clash of the Dunes, we are happy to gather here for the global launch of the biggest fight ever in the world's fastest transforming country, Saudi Arabia, the rage on the Red Sea. A historic World Heavyweight Boxing Championship between Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua taking place on the 20th of August here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to welcome on stage 4 of our special guests today. Please welcome Prince Fahad bin Abdulaziz, official spokesperson of Skill Challenge Entertainment.
That's the money right there. How many billions you think that is? Look at all that money in there. Look at those recliners.
Mrs. Rasha Al-Khamis, Vice President of Saudi Boxing Federation. And Mr. Eddie Hearn, Chairman of Matchroom Sport.
Yeah, there's a lot of money up in there.
Before us, we have those responsible for growing the sport of boxing in Saudi Arabia and underpin everything the kingdom is working towards as part of Vision 2030. Since the hosting of Clash of the Dunes in 2019, the Boxing Federation has been on an incredible journey of progress. To explain more, I'd like to start my questions with the Federation President, Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi, if he may allow. Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi, could you please describe for us what boxing is like today in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and what progress you've made in the past recent years?
Look, gotta give the money man some words.
Let me first of all welcome Eddie back to
Look at
Saudi
that
Arabia.
posture.
It's great to have you here. And as well, welcome the boxers, both Alexander and AJ. And I'm looking forward actually for a great fight. Since, as you rightfully said, Clash of the Dunes was 2.5 years
He's got oil?
And
We need some of that oil.
We managed to see a massive growth in terms of the participation of people inside the sport. We had back then 300 people that were, or 300 boxers that were registered in the federation. Today we managed to reach to 1,200 people in the federation. And because of the Clash of the Dunes and all of the different might that it brought to the game. Number of participation in terms of different clubs. We used to only have 4 national clubs that were participating in boxing. Around 5 different gyms and that were part of the federation. Today, we are on 32 different clubs and around 70 different gyms.
I ain't forget about you, Steven. Thanks for the super chat.
In terms of building the participation in the sport.
Amazing. So we do have a lot of future ambition for the sport. How big can the sport get in Saudi Arabia and in the region?
Sorry?
How big can the sport get, the sport of boxing?
Well, we recently launched our strategy that focuses on 3 main pillars. Number 1 is mass participation in the sport itself. You know, boxing is not only combat boxing, but it includes as well athletic boxing, it includes boxing for fitness, and we want to increase that number from today being 18,000, give and take estimation, up to around 500,000 people that are going to be within the mass participation in boxing. As well, we want to grow the sport when it comes to the grassroots programs and the different elements of the human capital of the sport. So we're focusing on training the trainers, focusing mainly on as well, including the coaches, including the referees and the judges for the game, and growing different programs within the schools and universities to grow the sport. Last but not least, the third is actually focusing mainly on what we call boxing under Vision 2030, which this main event is part of, and the Clash of the Dunes was part of, where we want to bring to the kingdom those major events when it comes to boxing, because it helps, number one, promote the kingdom as a hub for multiple sports, and as well includes and increases the number of participation and people that are interested in joining the sport.
Amazing, Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi, Saudi Boxing Federation President. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Moving on to our Vice President of the Saudi Boxing Federation, Mrs. Rasha Al-Khamis. Welcome. And you are now a living embodiment of the growing popularity of boxing in the kingdom. You are a boxer yourself, right?
Sure.
Right? Tell us more about your journey.
Sure. Let me start by shedding light on my upbringing. I grew up with a principle and values that sports is for all. Sports is for girls and boys, for men and women. This principle and value has been instilled in me since I was 7 years old. Growing up playing basketball versus my brother Abdullah, and my dad used to coach us. So, and I remember that the same critiques he used to give my brother, he used to give it to me, and that showed me that sports is for all. Growing up and being a sports enthusiast, I've done 6 sports growing up. I've done basketball, soccer, tennis, surfing, long distance running, and cycling. Ending it with boxing. I picked up boxing in 2014 when I traveled to pursue my graduate studies. And I recall that I've actually done boxing because it was such a sort of an outlet from all the pressures that I was going through when I was pursuing my graduate studies, living abroad. And that was such an outlet to something that really inspired me. It was a tool that really inspired me. So going back in 2017, coming back to Saudi Arabia, I had a conversation with the previous president of the Saudi Arabia Boxing Federation. And I recall that I've shared with him my experience with boxing and how it positively impacted my life. And I recall that he mentioned that with the vision of 2030, Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, and the direction of Ministry of Sports and Saudi Arabia Olympic Committee under the leadership of His Royal Highness Al-Amir Abdulaziz bin Turki and Al-Amir Fahad bin Jaloui, that they're actually activating not only Boxing Federation, but all other federations, the 92 federations. And that was a pivotal point for me, from being the athlete to a coach, and I got certified as the boxing coach.
Amazing. What a journey, Ms. Rasha. We see an increase of 150% of women participation in boxing,
True.
Specifically. You as a woman who is now helping to drive boxing's growth in the country, what impact do you think the rage on the Red Sea will have on the grassroots?
That's a very good question. So reverting back and having a real living example, which is the Clash of the Dunes, boxing has really impacted the ecosystem. And if you look at number of boxers, it grew by 300%. If you look at fitness boxing, it actually grew by 18,000. And if you look at the number of clubs, it grew by 50%. That tells you that the impact is tangible and the ecosystem is shaping up. And I believe with the transformation of the federation and giving the fact that...
What is this woman talking about? Do y'all care about this mess? I don't want to be rude. Yeah, cover that up. I feel offended. I feel like she naked.
Federation to supply the demand. And yeah.
Amazing. Rasha Al-Khamis, Vice President of the Saudi Boxing Federation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We now turn to Prince Fahad bin Abdulaziz.
All right, she is important. She's the vice president of their, she's like the vice president of their Las Vegas State Athletic Commission, New York State Athletic Commission. So she is important. I can't skip it. It's a live stream.
From King Salman and his
Oh, now who's this man?
Mohammed bin Salman. Under Vision 2030.
Is he the co-promoter?
We want to bring home the best and the biggest world-class events here in Saudi for our people. And that's why So that's why we, our people, we always work with the best, so we can bring the best here.
Exactly.
That's
So
what-
our country is transforming
Yeah.
today. Sport is playing a key role in this transformation, and such events do that as well.
Yeah, sure. These, our country is in transformation now. So, as you said, so our country is growing, both economically and socially. So that's why we need to bring the best and the biggest events here in Saudi.
Amazing.
And we hope that this is going to be big, this is going to be exciting to work with these guys. And also, this is a dream for my brother Khalid to bring boxing here in the kingdom. So I'm saying hi to him. So this is your dream came true.
My bad. I didn't know I was muted. My bad. I didn't know I was muted.
One of many to come, inshallah.
Yalla, inshallah, it's the first thing, inshallah. Many more to come.
Inshallah. What impact are you hoping that these events have on Saudi Arabia? Maybe you have touched base on that, but these events are part of our country's Vision 2030 transformation, inspiring our people to be inspired by sport.
Yeah, many people, as Abdullah said, many people are inspired here. And actually, I'm amazed by the numbers that men and women are inspired by the boxing. So I hope this makes more men and women.
Yeah, I'm guessing this guy is the co-promoter.
We have many like Russia today involved in boxing.
So she's like the vice president of the athletic commission for Saudi Arabia boxing. The first dude is the financier, and he's like the sports entertainment, like the promoter, I'm guessing.
Eddie, finally coming to you. I want to ask you, we've seen how boxing
That's some bigotry, Duck. You should be jailed. I'm gonna have a talk with HR about you.
has impressed you since you came to Saudi Arabia back in 2019 until today.
Well, firstly, it's great to be back and see so many friends and familiar faces. I mean, 2019 seems like an eternity ago, and you're quite right to mention Prince Khalid, of course, a very dear friend of ours who had a vision for boxing, and it was that vision that really enticed us to be here the first time around for Anthony Joshua against Andy Ruiz, the clash on the dunes. And I think it's amazing to see the growth of boxing here in the kingdom, especially bearing in mind COVID and the effect that the pandemic had on all sports, because I think the growth would have been significantly higher. So it's stopped us in the tracks a little bit, but to come back here now with a bigger fight, of course, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship, the Rage on the Red Sea, I think this is very important to inspire the next generation of boxing. I think everybody's touched on the benefits and the effects that boxing can have for the younger generation, and all sport can have for the younger generation in terms of discipline and respect and manners and understanding about life, winning, losing, being part of a team, playing as an individual, everything that sport can deliver for you. So for us, it's amazing to bring major sporting events to the kingdom, but it's also important that there's an investment and a belief within the sports at grassroots level. And that came from Khalid, and that was a big focus of his when we started this journey. And, whilst we want to bring the biggest fights to the kingdom, we also want to witness that growth, and we're seeing that through the numbers, and that's very pleasing.
Amazing. When you hear the ambition of the country that has Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi mentioned, we want to get 500,000 people into boxing today. Tell us about how proud you are to partner with the kingdom for these events.
Well, very proud because, as I said, it's important to inspire the next generation. They need role models, they need heroes, they need to see the best of the best. So, for that younger generation to see great fighters like Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua, and there is no greater prize in the sport of boxing than the World Heavyweight Championship. It doesn't get any bigger. So, for young people within the kingdom, they should be looking at these great fighters, these great athletes, and being inspired to start boxing. And starting boxing and walking through the doors of a boxing club is not just about wanting to be a professional boxer. It's about getting fit, getting healthy, being strong in the mind, being part of a team, being part of a community. And like I said, boxing for me can be the greatest strength of a community to bring people together. So it's really important to see that growth. One day we hope we're sitting here at a press conference for a Saudi world champion, looking to defend his titles. And if the growth continues, that will happen. But so good to see people out participating in sport, participating in the sport that we love.
Amazing.
This is like some TED Talk shit right here.
Our plans at Matchroom involves huge global growth, and being part of the growth here in Saudi Arabia is very humbling.
Thank you so much, Eddie Hearn. Ladies and gentlemen, Matchroom Sports. Thank you to our panelists. It's almost time to meet the boxers. I now invite to the stage Alex Krasyuk of K2 Management.
Look, they got snacks and stuff for the people in the recliners. That's real money there.
Trainer of Anthony Joshua on stage, please.
How much money do you think is in that room? Maybe 4 quadrillion? What comes after a trillion? That's quadrillion, right?
The ebb of the tides.
Oh yeah, look at this money up in there.
Retreat. Repeat. With everything a rematch can offer.
Let's get this party started!
What was lost to be taken back. What was won to be held tight. Traps reset. Fight plans remade. More of the masterclass, or a whole new approach. From North London to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to Jeddah, where the desert meets the sea. A city of sun and of storms, wind-whipped water and sand. And this storm, rage on the Red Sea. Oleksandr Usyk and Anthony Joshua. The rematch.
No, there's BBWs in Saudi Arabia. They just got to stay in the house.
Round of applause, please. Welcome them on
How
stage.
dare you?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us, the boxers and stars of the show.
Thanks for the super chat, Steven. I'll get to the super chats at the end of the press conference.
Former two-time heavyweight champion of the world. The challenger, AJ, Anthony Joshua.
Glad to have you with us, Anthony Joshua. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the defending champion.
And now, introducing the former undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world and the current unified IBO, IBF, WBA, and WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk.
Great sportsmanship. Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi and Mr. Eddie Hearn, please do join us on stage, please.
Yeah, the money man, he got to be there.
You're all warmly welcomed to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
In the back.
Mr. Abdullah Al-Harbi, this has been one of the biggest moments in Saudi sports history and follows a growing list of international events that Jeddah has hosted. What does this mean to the kingdom to have another World Heavyweight Championship fight, and why were you so keen on securing this particular fight?
under Vision 2030, today we see a lot of growth when it comes to the sports industry. With the patronage of His Royal Highness Crown Prince and his focus mainly on the youth of Saudi Arabia, being almost the majority of the people in Saudi Arabia, 60% are the youth, there is a massive focus going to be on sports. And with the leadership of the sports being spearheaded by Prince Abdulaziz bin Turkey, it's great to see these multiple events on different sports where it increases the mass participation for a lot of people within the economy. So having another sport, another event within boxing is going to just increase the number.
So once again, he is the head of their boxing athletic commission, to put it into layman's terms.
Before, having a champion within Saudi that is going to be spearheading Saudi Arabia in the future.
So from my understanding, all drug tests, all that type of stuff, just like Las Vegas State Athletic Commission and New York State Athletic Commission, everything is supposed to go through him.
Going from a few gyms to multiple gyms today, what are your plans to get 500,000 people into boxing in the next 4 years across the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Can you tell us briefly about that?
And that is going to be the focus for us, which is ensuring that with this number of multiple events that are going to be hosted.
That is correct, Look Dog.
It inspires a lot of people to start building their attribution within the sport of boxing, either be it on fitness boxing, either be it on participating in bouts. So we look forward actually for hosting multiple events, starting with the biggest event that we can actually have with the help of Matchroom and Skill Challenge. And hopefully that's not going to be it's only going to be the beginning, where we're going to have a lot of other bouts in the future.
Amazing, hopefully. And I would like to talk to the man who knows the boxers best today, a man who helped bring this fight, World Heavyweight Championship fight, to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and has now returned, Mr. Eddie Hearn, chairman of Matchroom Boxing, as we introduced you before, back to the Kingdom, at this time to Jeddah. How does it feel? Feels good, right?
Feels fantastic, and a welcome, of course, to everyone here. We want to thank, of course, Skills Challenge as well for their hard work and everybody for their patience. You know, it's been a long time making this fight, but when there's a fight the size of this, you know, coming and putting on a production like you guys want to put on, these things take time. So thank you to Aegis and Alex and Oleksandr Usyk as well, and of course for our team, Anthony Joshua, 258 Management, Robert Garcia, and this is all very nice. It's all very friendly, but we're only here to win.
Yes, exactly.
Honestly, that's all that matters. Last September was very painful when the great Oleksandr Usyk dethroned Anthony Joshua, and we're here to be pleasant, but we're here to see this man regain those wonderful belts up there on August the 20th.
Amazing. We're actually here to see the rage on the Red Sea happen.
How dare you!
On the 20th of August as well. I'd like now to hand over the mic to you to have a chat with our boxers and their camps. And good luck, and I'll be back.
Thanks for the super chat. I'm going to read the super chats after the press conference.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you for all attending here today in Jeddah ahead of this huge event, the Rage on the Red Sea, August the 20th in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
So now the press conference starts.
Back in 2019, we saw Anthony Joshua rematch Andy Ruiz and regain his World Heavyweight Championships in Riyadh. And it was a tremendous event. And of course, the boxing world and the sporting world slowed right down through the COVID pandemic. But now we're back, long overdue, and we're delighted to bring what is the biggest fight in the heavyweight division, one of the biggest fights in world boxing, to the Kingdom in August. We're delighted, of course, to be joined by not just Team AJ with Anthony Joshua, the former two-time heavyweight world champion, his great new trainer, Robert Garcia, but of course the champion, Oleksandr Usyk, the unified world heavyweight champion, the former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, his manager, Aegis Klimas, his promoter, Alex Krasik as well. Abdullah, of course, we've heard lots from about the growth of boxing here in Saudi Arabia, something that's very important to us as fans of the sport. It's amazing to bring huge profile, high profile fights to the Kingdom, but even better to witness the growth of boxing here in the Kingdom, to see these great fighters inspire the next generation. We all know Oleksandr and Anthony are two great examples of what boxing can do for a young person, how it can change, how it can shape their life. And we really believe that boxing is a tremendous way to shape and mould the life of young individuals, to teach them all the things that are important in life, about discipline, respect, fitness, mental well-being, being part of a team, being part of a community. and we feel very strongly that boxing can do that. So Abdullah, congratulations on the tremendous growth of boxing, particularly at the grassroots level in the kingdom. We're going to start by speaking to both members' teams. Aegis, we'll start with you, the champions team. We're going to be speaking back and forward. It's been a long time coming. There's been a lot happening in the world. And of course, this rematch probably expected to be more like April or May. But what an event, what a setting, what an opportunity for these great fighters. And August 20th, a chance for Oleksandr Usyk to defend his world heavyweight titles.
Yes, first of all, thank you very much for having us. I wanted to thank Skill Challenge Company, Prince Khalid, Ministry of Sports, Boxing Federation for having us here. I wanted to congratulate Matchroom to put this deal together with K2 Promotions, and thank you very much for having us here. As far as this rematch, this bout is very, very important for both men, not just a one-sided. It's a both men. Of course, Anthony wants to get his belts back. He's with a new team, new trainer. I know personally Robert Garcia. He trained a couple of my champions before. He's a great, great trainer. So I think Anthony did a good job picking up this trainer. For Oleksandr, it's very important to keep those titles, to go forward, because very, very possibility the winner of this bout will go for the undisputed heavyweight champion, and which is going to be a history. So it's very, very important bout.
Obviously, we know there's been lots happening around the world, of course, in Ukraine as well, and an important moment for Alex to represent Ukraine in this fight as well. A difficult period for many of you, and Alex will talk about that, but a very proud champion and here to defend his title with honour on August 20th.
Yes, of course. This is very, very important. August 20th, it's going to be another history day for in the sport of boxing.
Thank you, Aegis. We'll turn to Robert Garcia. Robert, one of the worst kept secrets in boxing, that you were involved in Anthony Joshua's camp, and pleased now that that news is out there. We know you've been working hard behind the scenes. It's probably the biggest fight to walk straight into, but you're here to help this man regain his world championships on August 20th.
AJ does always look like he's got a stick up his asshole. Hey, look at him.
Definitely. First of all, thank you all for being here. Thanks for having us. I want to congratulate Usyk and his team for, all the success they had. They're great people, great team. But you know what? I started coming here in December. I've been coming back and forth to England to work with Anthony, and I see a different Anthony now. The way he thinks, the way he talks, everything he's practicing, everything he's doing in the gym. I think he fought the wrong fight, and that's the past. That happened already. Usyk was a better man. Congratulate to him. But come August 20, we're gonna do whatever it takes, to win those titles back. I know he could do it. He's the bigger man. He's the stronger man. He's got the reach advantage. So we're going to take advantage of all that. And come that day, I think without a doubt, we're gonna have a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Rematches are always fascinating. We saw Anthony adapt so well in the Andy Ruiz rematch, fought a completely different fight, boxed under instruction.
I think Usyk is just eating up to come down. He was rumored to be around 200 pounds when he left the war for the fight.
Might need to change during the fight, and you're willing to cover all bases as you go into this difficult task to fight this pound-for-pound
Definitely, we got to be prepared for everything. Usyk is a great fighter. He's got skills, he's got reflex, he's got accuracy, he's got everything. But yeah, I think Anthony has all the tools to beat him. We just have to do the things in the gym. When I first came in December, Angel Fernandez, who's also working with us, he told me about so many things that went wrong during their camp. That's the past. That already happened. Now it's time to work on what Anthony could do. If you guys see Anthony in the back, he's practicing little things that we've been working on in the gym. Even on his days off, he's training. We're watching sparring together. We're watching videos together, and he's learning. He's taking notes. He wants to be champion again. And like I told you, I have no doubt that August 20 he will be champion again.
And finally, you work with some great fighters. How's it been seeing this big heavyweight up close? The speed, the combination punches, like you said, that ability to learn as well. But always fun watching this man unload leather.
You know what? With his dedication that he has, all the hard work that he does in the gym, you know, it motivates me also to do much more and to put more into training camp to come out with a win, because I know how much he wants it. I know how much the rest of the team wants it, and that motivates me to do it also. You know, I won my first heavyweight champion of the world. You know, I've had 14 world champions. He will be my 15, but he will be my first heavyweight champion of the world, and that's big for me too.
Thank you, Robert. Alex, welcome. Again, part of these long negotiations to get this done, but we're here. Famous pictures of you and Oleksandr embracing in the ring at Tottenham Hotspur in September of last year, and us looking sick as we suffered defeat, and of course Anthony. But a special moment for you, but now coming in as champion, defending that crown, and a huge event, August 20th here in Saudi Arabia.
Absolutely. Hello everyone. First of all, I want to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the opportunity, and it's a big honor for us to be here. While thinking over the speech for this media event, I looked back for the press conference that we had before the first fight. And the last words were, let the best man win, and we see you again for the rematch. So here we are, seeing you again for the rematch. It's an absolutely huge event. It's a big, huge honor to be a part of it. And it took us a lot of efforts and will to make it happen. Probably in February and March, we had to face a challenge of war in our country, and it was like we were not sure that this fight might take place. But finally, we put ourselves together, we made the decision to get into the fight, and now we are here representing our country, Ukraine, with the pride in our hearts. And we are representing our country here in the new destination of sports in the world, here in the Saudi Arabia. And to finish with, so let this fight happen. Let again the best man win, and probably we see you again for the undisputed, inshallah.
We go to the challenger this time. Incredibly, your 27th fight, your 12th successive World Championship fight. Still feels like yesterday when you turned pro after winning the Commonwealth, the Olympic gold in London in 2012. All those fights on, that hunger still burns deep inside of Anthony Joshua. The will to become champion again, the will to win again. Back to Saudi Arabia with such great memories, of course, from when you beat Andy Ruiz here in December 2019. But please now to get this date, please to be able to focus on what...
Yeah, I'm not going to talk over the press conference. We'll talk after.
Arguably the most important moment of your career here in the Kingdom in August.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say God is good all the time, even through tough times. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, and definitely the hunger's still there. As I always said from the get-go, stay hungry. Just keep the motivation high. Blips happen, things happen in life, but resilience, mental toughness, consistency will always prevail. So we're still on the road to undisputed for sure. And it's just a little blip in the road, but I'm focused on the target, which is sitting over there. I'm focused on the goal, and God willing, I'll perform and I'll become three-time heavyweight champion of the world.
I remember when...
Usyk's just no blip in the road. By the way, take a time out. Please like the video if you haven't, and subscribe.
But this one was a little bit different because I felt like you knew you might have got it wrong. And I remember meeting up with you, I think a day or 2 days after the fight at Tottenham. You were angry, you were deflated, And it's taken you a while to get things right. I know you're a perfectionist now. You have a new trainer as well. But it's been a while, but it feels like this time has been good for you to reflect on that defeat, understand what you needed to change to move forward. And now I've never seen as much confidence within the team going into this camp.
Yeah, kind of, definitely. Like, with Andy Ruiz, I think a lot of people can see before the fight, things weren't 100%. But we got to be strong, thick-skinned, and we take our loss like a man, you know, because when I win, I keep it moving, I thank everybody, and if I lose, you have to stay humble as well in defeat. So we kept it moving, and I knew I could come back again and do what I have to do. The fight with Usyk, he bust my ass for some rounds, and I have to take that defeat like a man as well, but I hold myself accountable, you know. I'm someone who can admit when I'm wrong and hold my head high when I'm right, and in the fight in September, I was wrong, and he was right, and simply I have to reverse that role August 20th. And I don't like to overcomplicate the situation, because there's simplicity and genius. Like, sometimes if you keep things simple, you can achieve great things. So I'm just going to keep things simple, move forward, and the date will soon come, 20th of August. So I wish the team a successful training camp and safe travels wherever they're going in the world. And same to my team. Robert's been great in the camp. My staff at the back there as well that have been helping me in training camp. I wish all of us well. I wish you guys a safe few weeks, and I can't wait to see you all again in the stadium for a great night of heavyweight championship boxing.
Yeah, we'll talk about everything and wrap it all up after the press conference. And no, AJ ain't on no damn steroids. I find that hard to believe.
Learning and putting together a game plan and following that game plan. You did that so well in the Andy Ruiz rematch as well. Going into the Usyk fight, there's a lot of almost sort of perception, confusion of the wizardry of Usyk and the unknowns of facing this guy. Now that you've gone 12 rounds with him, do you think that's going to help you a lot going into the rematch as well? Because I felt like going into that first fight, there was a lot of unknowns about his ability, the southpaw stance, his movement. You've experienced that. You've also seen how good it is as well, but going to help you to understand what you need to do to regain those belts.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we have to give him, his team, credit where credit's due. I'm not a hater. You know, I respect people and their craft. I respect him and his craft and what he's achieved. So that only should motivate me to want to get better, right? So if I'm around someone that's better than me on the night or better than me in certain aspects, I have to motivate myself and push myself to be better than them. And that's all it's done, really. And the great thing is I've got a second chance. Like, what got me into boxing in the first place, when I was a youngster, I got in a little bit of trouble now and again. And, you know, I was blessed with a second chance. And I found boxing and I took it with both hands. So if you know me and a lot of my story, you can know I'm the comeback king. You can put me down, but it's difficult to keep me down, because I always keep my spirits high. I'm very prayerful, I'm very thankful, and even through my tough times, I know that everything will make sense in the long run. So we keep on moving forward, and good luck to him again. As I said, I wish him well, because August 20th, I really want to entertain everyone that's coming. And thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as well for the second opportunity. Prince Khalid, my friend Banda over there as well, and Skills Challenge as well.
And just finally, because I think it's an important message on this platform with millions of people watching around the world, the importance of boxing for the younger generation and within the community, because you are probably the greatest example of that, or the most high-profile example of that as well, who can let people know, whether it's governments, whether it's countries, about the importance and the role that boxing can play. We talk about grassroots boxing in the kingdom rising by 300% since the clash on the dunes. Just a very, very quick word on what boxing did for you and how it can shape and mould the next generation.
So, for me, boxing, becoming a champion is the long-term goal. It's a long-term goal that you set yourself. Deep within your heart, you always know what you want to achieve, deep within your heart, but you look at the obstacles and the challenges to get there. So when I started boxing, at the time I was not living a healthy, clean lifestyle, but it promotes for me different ways of getting fit, running, cycling, rowing, swimming. You can even play badminton to get fit, whichever way. So it promotes a healthy living. So you're doing good for yourself. So I changed my diet as well.
I still like greasy food. I still like brownies and ice cream like everyone. But at the same time, too much of anything is not good for you. So I learned to control myself, control my habits. So I started eating more healthy. Also, start controlling the things I would listen to, the type of music I was listening to, the type of documentaries I was watching. So all about what I was intaking, the information I was intaking. So I used boxing as a vessel to help push me and promote a better lifestyle, not just to become champion. I think becoming champion is easy when your spirit's right. If your spirit's in the right place, you can achieve anything. And boxing helped get my spirit in the right place. And it's been a rough journey, of course, but as I said, you can be put down, but don't stay down, keep on moving forward. And even through the pandemic, a lot of boxing gyms in England...
AJ would be a great youth pastor.
The virus that was going around, but through the help of boxing, the supporters, even the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we donate a lot of money to keep gyms open because the governments don't look at boxing as like golf or tennis or a sport like that. But I promise you, we represent ourselves properly, like we represent ourselves like gentlemen. We come to fight hard, we come to do our best, but ultimately we try and be role models. And boxing has great, great things that it can offer young aspiring children.
I saw that, people walking out.
Because if you live a healthy life, I'm sure you could be successful in business. Like I see you half of the time trying to be a boxer or trying to run around the streets, and look after yourself because healthy heart, healthy circulation, good mind. And I love boxing for those reasons.
Thank you, Anthony. Oleksandr, welcome. For the first time, first press conference, the reigning unified world heavyweight champion. You said you were going to do it. You did do it. This time, here in Saudi Arabia, defending.
Now, Usyk ain't gonna really say shit. Just letting y'all know now. And his humor may not work over there with the Saudis.
Hello, everybody, people. I'm very happy and here. I'm very happy what next my fight in Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Coach Du, Prince Khalid. Thank you so much. It's very
pleasant.
Yeah, very pleasant for me, for my team. Я зараз перейду, тому що не...
Now I want to switch to Ukrainian.
Я дуже радий тут знаходитись.
It's a big honor for me to be here.
Наскільки ми знаємо, у нас зараз складне становище, але це не про це. Ми робимо свою справу з моєю командою.
As we all know, we are not in the best conditions at the moment back at home, but we are doing what we have to do. We are doing our job together with my team. We are working hard to achieve our goals.
Я ніколи не робив гучних замов.
I never made some very loud and bright speeches.
Я просто трудився і виконував свою роботу в своєму тренувальному лагері.
All I did is I just worked hard in my training camp, in my gym.
Те, що я буду робити на протязі цього часу до поєдинку.
That's what I'm gonna do until the date of the fight.
А потім я вийду і буду радувати вас своїм боксом.
And then I will enter the ring and will make you happy with my boxing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna start some shit. Ooh. What AJ gonna say about that?
In September to become champion, but you're very confident that...
Silent but violent.
On August the 20th, and you will leave Saudi Arabia as still the world heavyweight champion.
Ты в прошлый раз был очень счастлив, когда стал чемпионом мира. Сейчас у тебя шанс защитить. Ты выглядишь очень уверенно, и ты выглядишь как человек, который уедет из Сауди Арабии защищенным чемпионом мира.
Я щасливий. Я дуже радий не від того, що я чемпіон світу. Я дуже радий від того, що в мене є дружина, діти, друзі та моя великолепна команда.
The reason for my happiness is not my championship belts but the fact that I have a family, my wife, my children, and a wonderful team around me.
How does this sound? Usyk Joshua 2. The fight for Ukraine.
Thank you, Alex Krasik, Abdullah. Thank you, Robert, Anthony. And here we go, guys. August the 20th. Not long now. This will come around very, very quickly. In Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. Those great belts up there, the IBF, the WBA, the IBO, and the WBO World Heavyweight Championship. The greatest prize in our sport will be contested here in the Kingdom on August the 20th. We're going to have both fighters, both champion and challenger, in front of us here for a head-to-head.
All right, we'll talk after the press event. We'll talk after the face-off and break everything down. Take your time out. Please like the video if you haven't. And we'll replay some things and talk about the purses, where the fight's going to be, and forward.
On stage. And thank you for your contribution today. Thank you, Prince Fahad. Thank you, Ms. Rasha Al-Khamis as well. I would like to invite our boxers to now gather outside for the official photo call and traditional face-off, which will take place outside in front of the stunning Red Sea. Photographers and camera crew, if you'd like to make your way outside in a couple of minutes, we'll work to position you all for a photo moment. Thank you for attending. We look forward to welcoming you all back on August 20th, 2022 for Rage on the Red Sea. Please enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, that was a good face-off. That was a good face-off. I like that. We're going to have to run that back. We're going to have to run that back. Let's let this play all the way through. This is the end of the press conference, and we're going to talk about it. Okay, the blood is boiling a little bit. There's going to be fireworks. And I hate that term. Let's let it close out before we go back and replay. There it is. Let's go back and replay everything. I mean, not the press conference, obviously, but let's go talk about pretty much what happened. All right. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. We're going to talk about everything that happened in today's Oleksandr Usyk WBA Super, IBF, WBO, former cruiserweight undisputed champion of the world. In his rematch against Anthony Joshua, that's going to be taking place on August the 20th in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah. No venue has been announced yet. It is not official that it's going to be on the DAZN, despite the fact that Anthony Joshua has signed a long-term deal with the DAZN, leaving Sky Sports. So he's going to be fighting on the DAZN global platforms. UK, it'll likely be the DAZN pay-per-view. Here in the States, it'll be on the DAZN. We don't know if it's going to be pay-per-view here in the States on the DAZN. I hope not. You know, let the Saudis, look at all that money up in that room. Let the Saudis pay for this. Shit. You know? So it's reported that Anthony Joshua signed a 100 million pound deal with the Zone. 100 million pounds, which would equate to what? About, let me fix this. About $112 million. We don't know how long that deal is for, but there's supposed to be a site fee for this fight, Usyk Joshua 2 in Saudi Arabia for, what are they saying? Let me pull this article right here. Hold on, I done lost the numbers here. I done lost the numbers. Okay, Joshua signed a 100 million pound deal last week. Let's do it this way. What was the other one? And it's supposed to be an $80 million site fee. So $40 million a piece, 50-50 split. So automatically $40 million in the bank for this fight, automatically for both fighters. Then you have whatever the pay-per-view money's going to be. Now, Anthony Joshua has a $112 million deal with the Zone. We don't know how many fights that is. But you can say he's going to make, what, at least an extra $20 million. So already he's got at least $60 million in the bank. And then whatever Usyk is going to be getting. But yeah, I was disturbed by Bob Barham's comments. But then again, you know, let me tell you something about old people. You know, after people get like a certain age, and I guess if I lived to be 90, God knows what I'd be saying. You know, old people just be saying crazy ass shit sometimes. You know, Bob Barham has put his foot in his mouth so many different times, just as all promoters. Like, you know, it just comes with it. So, you know, I was taken aback a bit when he was like, you know, he didn't want to send Bert Tabiev over to the dead zone. But it is true, though, over here in the States, it is rumored that the Zone has less than 100,000 subscribers. It's not a lot. Now, of course, they have big fighters like AJ, Canelo versus Golovkin coming up, but those fights don't really drive subscribers. For example, Canelo versus Golovkin 3 will likely be on pay-per-view here in the States. It's not going to be on a regular Zone where you're paying, what, $120 a year or $22 a month or something like that. You're going to have to buy it on pay-per-view for $80. It'll be distributed by the Zone, but if you buy through the Zone, it'll be $60 on top of your $20 or so subscription or whatever your subscription package is. So do you really have to subscribe to the Zone? I mean, yeah, they got some good fights for hardcore boxing fans. Like, if you want to watch hardcore boxing, yeah. You know, for example, this weekend, they have damn, I forgot the fucking card. Oh, the Rat King. Srisaket Rungvisai versus Bam Rodriguez. Murodjon Akhmadaliev, unified WBA IBF champion, taking on Ronny Rios, you know, in the 122-pound division. Remember, Steve Fulton has that WBC and WBO. You got Jessica McCaskill on the card, taking on Alma Ibarra, I believe that's her name. You know, good card. But people are not going to be paying $22 a month. You know, if you're not buying for a year, you know, people are not going to be paying $22 a month, you know, because that's what my account is. I pay $20 a month. You know, I used to get it free when I used to beta test for the Zone, but I'm not giving them my monthly. No, I'd rather pay that $21 and then cancel for certain months. But then again, I never cancel because I cover all the fights. But anyway, not to get too far off, but basically what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. AJ is supposed to have some type of equity in the Zone, meaning he's some type of partner that he's going to be making money off of anything the Zone is going to be producing. But here in the States, the Zone doesn't offer anything outside of boxing. I'm just hoping that they don't try to put this on the Zone pay-per-view here in the States, because remember, ESPN decided to put Tyson Fury versus Dylan White on ESPN pay-per-view. That was $75 after taxes and everything. Last year, PBC decided to put on Chris Arreola versus Andrew Ruiz, even though that was on, you know, it was $50, but still pay-per-view. They started off the year with Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin pay-per-view. So I'm scared these motherfuckers are going to try to put this, excuse my language. Sorry. I think they're going to try to put this on pay-per-view over here in the States. Now, over in the UK, it's pretty much a given. It's going to be on the DAZN pay-per-view. You know, on top of what you pay for the DAZN a month, you're going to pay something like $25. You know, 25 quid. That's what they call it over there. 25 quid, you know, over there. Usyk didn't really say anything, but let's go back and replay it for those who wanted to listen. He didn't talk for long at all. It was Anthony Joshua that gave the big-ass speech. So I'm guessing we should go to Anthony Joshua first. You know, always seems like he's got a stick in his ass. You know, I thought he was gonna. I understand he's over in Saudi Arabia and he's got to be the company businessman. But where was all that tough shit he was talking before? I'm not saying talk like that to Usyk. You know, I'm just saying, like, you know, sometimes he just come across as a little scripted. You dig what I'm saying? By the way, we're gonna get to the super chats. Thanks, Drew. Yeah, we got 3, 4, 5 super chats we got to get to. But let's listen to Joshua first and what he had to say before we move on. Basically, I'm just skimming down and cutting out all the bullshit for you guys. We sat here for damn near 2 hours watching this press conference. So I'm cutting out the fluff for you because it was a little grueling.
Still feels like yesterday when you turned pro after winning the world. Sorry.
Also, hey, not doing this for my health. Please take a time out, like the video if you haven't. We're going to be here live streaming during the co-main event and the main event of the DAZN card between Bam Rodriguez and Rungvisai and Akhmadaliev versus Ronny Rios. So, you know, and we're going to be pumping out content throughout the rest of the week. For example, Virgil Ortiz and Michael McKinson are having a virtual press conference right now. So I'm going to have to focus on that after we're done here live streaming.
Commonwealth, the Olympic gold in London in 2012. All those fights on, that hunger still burns deep inside of Anthony Joshua. The will to become champion again, the will to win again, back to Saudi Arabia with such great memories, of course, from when you beat Andy Ruiz here in December 2019. But please now to get this date, please to be able to focus on what is arguably the toughest fight of your career, arguably the most important moment of your career here in the Kingdom in August.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say God is good all the time, even through tough times. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out today, and definitely the hunger's still there. As I always said from the get-go, stay hungry. Just keep the motivation high. Blips happen, things happen in life, but resilience, mental toughness, consistency will always prevail. So we're still on the road.
No, I don't. No, I don't, John Poetic. See, there you go sucking dick.
I'm focused on the target, which is sitting over there. I'm focused on the goal, and God willing.
I'm sorry, guys. Excuse my language.
I'll become 3-time heavyweight champion of the world.
I remember when you suffered that defeat, when you suffered defeat to Andy Ruiz as well, you always put on a brave face, but this one was a little bit different because I felt like you knew you might have got it wrong, and I remember meeting up with you, I think a day or 2 days after the fight at Tottenham. You were angry, you were deflated, and it's taken you a while to get things right. I know you're a perfectionist now, you have a new trainer as well, but it's been a while, but it feels like this time has been good for you to reflect on that defeat, understand what you needed to change to move forward, and now I've never seen as much confidence within the team going into this camp.
Yeah, kinda, definitely. Like, with Andy Ruiz, I think a lot of people can see before the fight, things weren't 100%. But we got to be strong, thick-skinned, and we take our loss like a man, you know, because when I win, I keep it moving, I thank everybody, and if I lose, you have to stay humble as well.
How dare you?
So we kept it moving, and I knew I could come back again and do what I have to do. The fight with Usyk, he bust my ass for some rounds, and I have to take that defeat like a man as well, but I hold myself accountable. You know, I'm someone who can admit when I'm wrong and hold my head high when I'm right. And in the fight in September, I was wrong, and he was right. And simply, I have to reverse that role August 20th. And I don't like to overcomplicate the situation because there's simplicity and genius. Like, sometimes if you keep things simple, you can achieve great things. So I'm just going to keep things simple, move forward, and the date will soon come. 20th of August, so I wish the team a successful training camp and safe travels wherever they're going in the world, and same to my team. Robert's been great in the camp. My staff at the back there as well that have been helping me in training camp. I wish all of us well. I wish you guys a safe few weeks, and I can't wait to see you all again in the stadium for a great night of heavyweight championship boxing.
So before they talk about Usyk, well, his new trainer, Robert Garcia, has said he's been going over there since December. So pretty much he's been his trainer since December. And I'm wondering, Robert Garcia is more known to be like a pressure fighter, power puncher type of trainer. And that's what we wanted to see from Joshua in the first fight, for him to go after the smaller fighter. Instead, he allowed Usyk to keep it in the middle of the ring and tried to outbox him. Well, we saw that was no good. Let's finish listening to AJ, and then we're going to listen to Usyk. As I said, I'm just cutting out all the fluff. The press conference was damn near, what, an hour and a half long. So it was a lot of fluff in there, so we just cutting out the fluff.
Like, we have to give
you a lot going into the ring. The thing you've always been good at is adapting and learning and putting together a game plan and following that game plan. You did that so well in the Andy Ruiz rematch as well. Going into the Usyk fight, there's a lot of almost sort of perception, confusion of the wizardry of Usyk and the unknowns of facing this guy. Now that you've gone 12 rounds with him, do you think that's going to help you a lot going into the rematch as well? Because I felt like going into that first fight, there was a lot of unknowns about his ability, the southpaw stance, his movement. You've experienced that. You've also seen how good it is as well, but going to help you to understand what you need to do to regain those belts.
Yeah, for sure. Like, we have to give him, his team, credit where credit's due. I'm not a hater. You know, I respect people and their craft. I respect him and his craft and what he's achieved. So that only should motivate me to want to get better, right? So if I'm around someone that's better than me on the night or better than me in certain aspects, I have to motivate myself and push myself to be better than them. And that's all it's done, really. And the great thing is I've got a second chance. Like, what got me into boxing in the first place, when I was a youngster, I got in a little bit of trouble now and again. And, you know, I was blessed with a second chance.
All right, I'm going to let this play through. He's about to give this speech. Nah, we got to let it play through. We got to let it play through. So we're going to let Joshua wrap up, and then we're going to fast forward to what Usyk had to say for those who didn't see it. And Usyk didn't talk very long, and then we're going to go to the face-off, because the face-off was a good face-off, you know, for those who are the real boxing hardcores like myself and really care about that stuff. You know, but I'm not going to spoil it for you for those who didn't see it. But it was good. It's definitely going to make some headlines. I'm sure it is right now. Also, finally, please take your time out, like the video, subscribe. Thanks, Drew, for the super chat. We're going to get to those questions after the press conference is over. We're going to talk about who I think is going to win. We're going to talk about possible undercard. And if you haven't heard, they're going to be splitting $80 million just for fighting in Saudi Arabia. That's just the site fee. We don't know where the arena is going to be yet. It's going to be on August the 20th in Saudi Arabia. We're going to talk about the rest of the details after Joshua Usyk speak and after the face-off.
And I found boxing and I took it with both hands. So if you know me and a lot of my story, you can know I'm the comeback king. You can put me down, but it's difficult to keep me down because I always keep my spirits high. I'm very prayerful, I'm very thankful, and even through my tough times, I know that everything will make sense in the long run. So we keep on moving forward, and good luck to him again. As I said, I wish him well, because August 20th, I really want to entertain everyone that's coming. And thank you to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as well for the second opportunity, Prince Khalid, my friend Banda over there as well, and Skills Challenge as well.
And just finally, because I think it's an important message on this platform with millions of people watching around the world, the importance of boxing for the younger generation and within the community, because you are probably the greatest example of that, or the most high-profile example of that as well, who can let people know, whether it's governments, whether it's countries, about the importance and the role that boxing can play. We talk about grassroots boxing in the kingdom rising by 300% since the clash on the Dunes. Just a very, very quick word on what boxing did for you and how it can shape and mould the next generation.
So, for me, boxing Becoming a champion is the long-term goal. It's a long-term goal that you set yourself. Deep within your heart, you always know what you want to achieve, deep within your heart, but you look at the obstacles and the challenges to get there. So when I started boxing, at the time I was not living a healthy, clean lifestyle, but it promotes for me different ways of getting fit, running, cycling, rowing, swimming. You can even play badminton to get fit, whichever way. So it promotes a healthy living. So you're doing good for yourself. So I changed my diet as well. I still like greasy food. I still like brownies and ice cream like everyone. But at the same time, too much of anything is not good for you. So I learned to control myself, control my habits. So I started eating more healthy. Also, start controlling the things I would listen to, the type of music I was listening to, the type of documentaries I was watching. So all about what I was intaking, the information I was intaking. So I used boxing as a vessel to help push me and promote a better lifestyle, not just to become champion. I think becoming champion is easy when your spirit's right. If your spirit's in the right place, you can achieve anything. And boxing helped get my spirit in the right place. And it's been a rough journey, of course, but as I said, you can be put down, but don't stay down, keep on moving forward. And even through the pandemic, a lot of boxing gyms in England were closed in Great Britain because of the virus that was going around. But through the help of boxing, the supporters, even the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we donate a lot of money to keep gyms open because the governments don't look at boxing as like golf or tennis or a sport like that. But I promise you, you know, we represent ourselves properly, like we represent ourselves like gentlemen. We come to fight hard, we come to do our best, but ultimately we try and be role models. And boxing has great, great things that it can offer young aspiring children that want to help themselves in business, because if you live a healthy life, I'm sure you could be successful in business. Like I see you half of the time trying to be a boxer or trying to run around the streets, and look after yourself, because healthy heart, healthy circulation, good mind. And I love boxing for those reasons.
Thank you, Anthony. Oleksandr, welcome. For the first time, first press conference, the reigning unified world heavyweight champion. You said you were going to do it. You did do it. This time, here in Saudi Arabia, defending your world heavyweight titles.
Добро пожаловать. Ты в прошлый раз говорил, что ты это сделаешь, ты это сделал. Сейчас ты первый раз на пресс-конференции в роли чемпиона.
Yeah, Usyk doesn't talk very long, and then it's going to be the face-off, and then we'll go over the details.
Hello, everybody, people. I'm very happy and here. I'm very happy what next my fight in Saudi Arabia. Thank you so much, Ruiz, Prince Khalid. Thank you so much. It's very очень
pleasant.
Yeah, very pleasant for me, for my team. Я зараз перейду, тому що не...
Now I want to switch to Ukrainian.
Я дуже радий тут знаходитись.
It's a big honor for me to be here.
Наскільки ми знаємо, у нас зараз складне становище, але це не про це. Ми робимо свою справу з моєю командою.
As we all know, we are not in the best conditions at the moment back at home, but we are doing what we have to do. We are doing our job together with my team. We are working hard to achieve our goals.
Я ніколи не робив гучних замов.
I never made some very loud and bright speeches.
Я просто трудився і виконував свою роботу в своєму тренувальному лагері.
All I did is I just worked hard in my training camp, in my gym.
Те, що я буду робити на протязі цього часу до поєдинку.
That's what I'm gonna do until the date of the fight.
А потім я вийду і буду радувати вас своїм боксом.
And then I will enter the ring and will make you happy with my boxing.
Thank you.
Oleksandr, just one more question. Of course, you looked very happy when you won in September to become champion, but you're very confident that you will be victorious on August the 20th and you will leave Saudi Arabia as still the world heavyweight champion.
прошлый раз был очень счастлив, когда стал чемпионом мира. Сейчас у тебя шанс защитить. Ты выглядишь очень уверенно. И ты выглядишь как человек, который уедет из Саудовской Аравии защищенным чемпионом мира.
Я щасливий. Я дуже радий не від того, що я чемпіон світу. Я дуже радий від того, що в мене є дружина, діти, друзі та моя великолепна команда.
The reason for my happiness is not my championship belts, but the fact that I have a family, my wife, my children, and a wonderful team around me.
Well, thank you, Oleksandr. Thank you, Igis. Thank you, Alex Krasik, Abdullah. Thank you, Robert, Anthony. And here we go, guys. August the 20th. Not long now. This will come around very, very quickly. In Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship. Those great belts up there, the IBF, the WBA, the IBO, and the WBO World Heavyweight Championship. The greatest prize in our sport will be contested here in the Kingdom on August the 20th. We're going to have both fighters, both champion and challenger, in front of us here for a head-to-head before the guys take care of their media obligations. We want to thank you so much for attending here today. We will be in London on Wednesday for the London leg of the press conference, and we look forward to a wonderful event here on August 20th.
Okay, there you have it. I'm going to go full screen so you can see the full face-off in HD. And then we're going to talk after the face-off for about, we got 12 minutes left in the show. And we should, that's more than enough time to wrap everything up. And we will be here Wednesday. Remember, it's going to be in London. All right, we'll talk after. Take your time out, like the video, subscribe. Please help us out. Like the video. That does help out a lot. Let's go full screen here. And go from there. Here, I'll be right back. And I'm going to turn it up. There we go.
Thank you, Prince Fahad. Thank you, Ms. Rasha Al-Khamis as well.
So we will be here Wednesday morning. Wait, that's tomorrow. We will be here tomorrow morning. And I'm guessing it's going to be at about 8 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m., maybe 9. Normally, that's when the UK press conferences take place. Remember, that's a 5-hour difference from East Coast to the UK. But we will be here streaming. And of course, we will be covering this fight. I don't know if we're going to be able to send somebody to this fight. We had somebody at Ruiz Joshua 2 in Saudi Arabia. Big J, we just sent him to
I would
watch
like
this.
to invite our boxers to now gather outside for the official photo call and traditional face-off, which will take place outside in front of the stunning Red Sea. Photographers and camera crew, if you'd like to make your way outside in a couple of minutes, we'll work to position you all for a photo moment. Thank you for attending. We look forward to welcoming you all back on August 20th, 2022 for Rage on the Red Sea. Please enjoy the rest of the evening.
Now look at this. Look at this smooth shit that Usyk do. Cold killer right there. Joshua going down again. AJ's going down again. I don't understand. I don't think that he can, what happened? I don't think that, listen, what can Anthony Joshua do differently in the rematch? Yes, he does have to be more aggressive. And trying to outbox Oleksandr Usyk is not going to hit, like not going to do it. You know, he's going to have to make sure he sits down on all of his punches. Like, he's got to outbox this. I mean, he's got to knock this dude out. Boxing him, that shit ain't going to work. That shit is not going to work. So, once again, the final time I'm saying this, it's supposed to be a $80 million plus site fee $40 million guaranteed to the fighters just by fighting in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has this initiative going on where they're trying to become the world's #1 tourist attraction by 2030. So that's why they're throwing all this money at tourism, you know, and this is supposed to be to build up the economy and tourism in Saudi Arabia for people to be like, you know what, we're going to travel over there and go to this fight. People did it for Ruiz Joshua too. Anthony Joshua has signed a $112 million plus deal with the DAZN, leaving Sky Sports box office and Sky Sports overall platforms. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, how the DAZN is going to build up and market Anthony Joshua over in the UK, because it seems as though they gave up on the American market for the most part. Because when you're on Sky Sports, isn't that the #1 sports platform over there in the UK? You know, so now he's going over to the DAZN, and we see that the DAZN doesn't really do well. Let's see, Drew. Drew says, I can be your correspondent there, T. Booking my flight there. I'll hit your Twitter DMs. All right, yeah, well, we got to do a background check, bro. You know, because I don't want to pay for that trip. We just sent Big J. Well, he lives in Australia, but he was at Camboso's Haney, you know, so I got to get to an event. I haven't been to a boxing event since what? The Gary Russell fight, Gary Russell versus Nyambayar. I was at J-Rock Rosario versus Jason Rosario. That was in Philly, though. And then before that, I was at Charlo versus Korobov, and Charlo Harrison won. That's like, you know, like, and I was going to fights a lot, you know, and I just, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Donnell's been going to fight. We had credentials for Bertabiev, Smith Jr. I'm still uploading that stuff to the channel. I got the Timothy Bradley, the Bertabiev stuff up. But anyway, back to this fight. Also, thanks for the super chat. I'm still 50-50 on Spence versus Crawford, Drew. Still 50-50. You know, I want to favor Terrence Crawford, but because he's just going to adjust so well. But regarding Spence, him beating Ugas, that was a high value, high quality win to me. You know, and the way he did it, he broke his face too. So he's broke 2 faces now. Kell Brooks and your Dennis Ugas. So that counts for something. 50-50 to me. But anyway, going back to this fight, I'm wondering, what is it that he can do differently? Let's go this way. What is it that Anthony Joshua can do differently? Yeah, he adjusted well in the Ruiz rematch. What did he do? He started, you know, like moving around. You know, listen, no disrespect, but fucking Andrew Ruiz came in a fat ass. He came in at 280 something. You know, went all over there to the desert, all that cheese pizza and shit. You know, I was really disappointed in him. And he let himself down and his family down. And it's like, bro, like, that shit pissed me off. And then he had the nerve in his next fight to go life and death with Chris Arreola. And I love the Nightmare. That really broke my piss to a boil. I'm like, this motherfucker, everybody was saying he wasn't focused, and he really went over there and lost in Saudi. You motherfucker. You know, but anyway, let me stop cussing. Anthony Joshua is chasing his 3rd championship, in this case, 3rd, you know, championship run. Remember, he lost to Ruiz back in 2019. Ruiz was a late step in for Gerald Big Baby Miller, who is fighting this weekend. Did you guys know that? Gerald Big Baby Miller is fighting this weekend. He's fighting a guy by the name of something Bracamonte. He fought Dempsey McKean not long ago. Gerald Big Baby Miller is fighting on KO Drugs. No, the 38th annual WBA KO Drugs boxing event. The former 3-time juicer. Remember, he was caught juicing back in his kickboxing days. He was caught juicing before he fought Anthony Joshua. I'm talking about he was trying to juice to the smithereens. He had that EB12 shit in him. Whatever that shit is, the needles. They said you can only get it by needles. Then Top Rank signed him back in 2020. He had a fight with Jerry Forrest, failed the drug test again. You saw him doing personal security for Floyd Mayweather when Floyd Mayweather was at the Jake Paul, when he had the Logan Paul press conference, and Jake Paul took his hat before his hair was done you know, the Floyd textures, he had just got that new hair transplant. So the shit was all fucked up looking. So when Jake Paul took his hat, like he tried to kill him. Well, anyway, he was a bouncer for Floyd. And now he's back this Thursday in Argentina on a KO drugs, like a drug awareness boxing event. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna cover it. So far, there's no links, no nothing available. But I'm gonna scrub the internet for that shit. I am gonna cover this shit out that fucking Big Baby Miller fight. You think I'm joking? Let's go take a little gander. I'll show you. TstreeT ain't joking. Watch. And look, this is what I was doing. I did just a regular Google search yesterday, and you see it? Tell me when you see it. I was doing a regular Google search. And I was like, let me go check. You can see, because I've been to the websites. You see how I went to the shit? And then what do you see? Even Google clowning him. Big Pharma. Bro, I shit you not. Google Big Baby Miller. And they put his name as Big Pharma, though. And then you click it. They put a hyperlink. So it go to pharmaceuticals. The internet is wild. The internet is wild. The internet is wild as shit. Like, the internet don't take no prisoners. 23-0-1 with 20 KOs. Last fight was against Borjan Dinu. And I was wondering, how does dude keep going up in weight and he not losing no stamina or no speed or nothing? He was juicing to the gills. You know how the saying go, if he was juicing to the gills. He was juicing to the gills. So yeah, he back though. He back. But anyway, back to Anthony Joshua. Yeah, so what can he do differently? You know? Like, I mean, you know, some may argue that if he is more aggressive, he might get knocked out because he almost got stopped. Let me pull up a highlight for you for that last round. Because he almost got stopped, you know? By Usyk. Let me see if I can get you some footage. And Usyk is a hell of a counterpuncher, and Joshua doesn't have the best head movement. And Robert Garcia is known to be a trainer of mostly pressure fighter power punchers for the most part. So, you know, and I think it's safe to say, you know, that Joshua needs to go out there and he needs to put the foot on the gas and try to go out there and use his height and size against Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk is listed at 6'3", Joshua's 6'6". Usyk was said to, when he entered training camp for this fight, after he was allowed to go fight, you know, this fight after leaving the fight in Ukraine, a couple of months ago, they said he was about 200 or so pounds. So you see, and as you can see, he looked pretty bulked up. So maybe he's eating up, you know, to tone down in camp, because maybe, you know, he's a cruiserweight. So maybe he doesn't naturally walk around at 220, 230. But, you know, since he's going to be training, working on stamina and everything, he want to keep his weight up. Deontay Wilder's been said to have to do the same thing. Let me see if I can get you some highlights. But yeah, you know, Joshua's not done if he loses. It's just like he'll be done on like a big level, you know. I mean, he'll still be able to have big fights, but I don't think he'll really be like, you know, he can be outboxed, and those paydays are going to get smaller. Those paydays are going to get smaller. See, I don't want to use this clip because the zone be fucking around. I'm trying to find a clip for you. You know, because the last thing I knew, like the zone, they like to give out copyrights like candy, man. And some of them be just flat out illegal. I might not be able to get you any clip because they're bullshitting. But yeah, man, only time will tell. So the fight's going to be in Jeddah. We don't know what venue it's going to be in. Let's see. Let's go to the story here. We don't know what venue it's going to be in. We don't know if it's going to be pay-per-view over here in the States. It's going to be pay-per-view over there in the zone in the UK. So y'all just need to deal with it. Remember, they put Fury versus Dillian Whyte on pay-per-view here in the States. So it's hard not to believe that they wouldn't put this on pay-per-view here in the States. You know, I hope they don't. Like, no, I don't want to pay $60 for no Joshua Usyk. Yes, as a boxing fan, it's worth it. But no, like, I don't want them to think that every time we get like a super, you know, like mega fight, like, no, I'm sorry, because over here in the States, this fight ain't going to do no numbers on pay-per-view. Like, but the way they probably figure, you know, I don't even want to talk about it no more. I don't want to talk it up. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up out of here. I got to edit and chop this video all up. I'm going to be back tomorrow because they're doing the UK version of the press conference at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, I believe. Let me see if they put it up here already. Let's see if they put it up here already. I don't think they did. So basically, it's a little press tour. Also, this Friday, Canelo and Golovkin are having a press conference in New York. No, in LA this Friday. We're going to be streaming that. And then on Monday, they're having a press conference in New York. So Friday's going to be in LA. Monday's going to be in New York. So boxing season is picking up. Like, it's picking up again. Wilder, we don't know where Wilder is. And be honest, I'm going to say it. I think that Wilder can beat Anthony Joshua because all it takes is one. I don't think Anthony Joshua can eat that at all. Like, I don't. You know, I would pick, you know, even though Joshua is overall better than Deontay Wilder, like, that punch is a equalizer. Like, you seen neutralizer. You seen how when he hit Fury, like, it's like Fury ate it up here. He ate it. Like, but then the fat, like, just started rippling down his back, and then the legs just gave out. Like, bro, Joshua ain't eating that. No way. No way. It's got like an aftershock to it. You know, you get hit with it, and then all of a sudden you just jolt and you on the ground looking up. You know. Anyway, take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. Down below in the description box is a link to the WBC app powered by the Vive Network. Also, the links to my social media are down below in the description box as well. See you guys later on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the super chat, Steven. You must got paid today, bro. Hey, I'm all with it. If AJ don't win the division, he died. If AJ don't win the division, dies. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.